Hello, sports card collectors. Do you know what I like to do when I want to get a bad taste out of my mouth? I like to look at some baseball cards. Okay, I'm going to do another box rummage kind of thingy. I bought some of these cases here at Hobby Lobby. I like them because they store a lot and they look vintage. I put a little Honus Wagner sticker on there. And I have a bunch of really cool items and rare stuff in here. So I thought I'd look through them. First, and I have this great set of old W.H. Dick postcards from 1909. They are the Pittsburgh Pirates championship team. And I have all the cards. There's the Honus Wagner. These were a postcard that came kind of accordion style. And there's the stamp from 1909. There's the Owens Chief Wilson. He got his nickname Chief because player Fred Clark said he looked like a chief from the Texas Rangers. He also holds the single season triples record with 36. That'll never be broken. So this is what these look like. Some of them are still together. Like I said, they came accordion style and meant to be torn off. Very unique items and very rare. And really cool looking cards. So glad to have those. And I have this postcard of Huey Jennings here. Old vintage postcard, and I love to get them when they were sent because you have the stamp there and the date, and you get to read what people used to write back then. It's pretty amazing. From the 1910 Sporting Life set. Rick and I had picked this up at the National last year, and that's the wrapper that they came in the newspaper. Guess they were probably just tucked in the newspaper, I'm guessing. Man, I have this super rare Eddie Plank postcard. It's a beautiful image. Now this is one that was never sent. These are near impossible to find, and when you do find them, they are beaten up. So this is a really nice example from the ones I've seen. And Eddie Plank, this stuff's pretty pricey. You don't see a whole lot of them. This is Fleischmann Bakery. And this is another super rare set, and this is Rick Barry. And of course, he was the shortstop on the $100,000 infield with Eddie Collins at second, Stuffy McGinnis at first, and Home Run Baker at third. $100,000 infield. Now, guys, get that to play in one game. Dave Blue Jacket 66 had sent me this autograph of Joe Wood. Smokey Joe Wood. He was featured in that book, Glory of Their Times. I had put a link to my favorite baseball books. I had made a post, and that's one of them for sure. Even better is the audio version because you get to hear the players in their own voices. But he was asked if he was faster or Walter Johnson was faster. And he said, Walter Johnson probably had me by a little, but batters feared me more. Because if you don't know, Walter Johnson was a really nice guy, and he wouldn't throw at anybody. He feared that he would seriously injure them and hurt them, so he wouldn't throw at anybody. But Smokey Joe Wood would. This is a Sid Luckman autograph index card. I think Sid Luckman still holds some Bear records, and he holds an all-time record, I believe. He threw a touchdown pass every fifth pass, which is amazing, especially for back then. This is a postcard, well, it's an exhibit, 1928, of Howard Emke. And he was a star of a World Series. He was considered to be washed up, and Connie Mack decided to start him, which drew scrutiny, and he pitched an amazing game. He was a submarine pitcher. And he's that World Series performance is one of the great stories in baseball history. These are blank. And this is Kenneth Williams. And this is a postcard. Well, this is an exhibit, rather. And somebody had written on the back. And they used it as kind of a way to keep track of his career. And they note that he hit 2 home runs in the same inning. And that's his claim to fame. Now these are rare. I believe I'm sure they were only issued around the Chicago area. And these are interesting postcards that showed a Chicago Cub, and they had the player over there. Been wanting to get some more of these. This one was mailed and written on. And again, you have the stamp. And see, this is one of the things I do not like about grading, is, to me, having that stamp on there is more valuable. That's better for me, I think. But it's always going to get a 1. It's written on, it's got a stamp on it. Even if it just had a stamp, it's going to get a 1. But a beautiful example of that. These are very scarce, very scarce. This is a scarce exhibit of Tris Speaker. And this is a postcard back. And they had, I believe they have another color of this exhibit card. Stooks will have all the information you need. Stooks, if you're not subscribed to him, I'm always learning from him. Stook, put some comments down there, my man. Tell me about the other color or colors. I have this great Jesse Owens. I got this in the early 2000s. Couldn't believe how cheap his cards were. They're not so cheap now. That must make me a super investor. I'm brilliant. We have a Zach Wheat exhibit. Classic image of him. Fantastic image. Super rare card here. This is Pacific Coast Biscuit. My man Buck Weaver. Super rare card. And long before, this is interesting, long before it was associated with hate, the Pacific Coast Biscuits logo was the swastika. It was used long before Hitler used it. Maybe the greatest all-around female athlete in history, Babe Didrikson. She excelled at everything, including golf. All around, fantastic. Let me show you that again. Athlete. we have some of these. This is the Gaudy Wide Pen Premium, Paul Wainer. And Chuck Klein. And Chuck Klein, great player. Knew that from the time I was a little kid. Here we have a Lefty Grove signature. I don't collect a whole lot of autographs, but some really get my juices flowing. This Satchel Page is one of them. Got some 4-in-1s. Here's my Pirates. Paul Wainer, Pie Trainer, Archie Vaughn, and Guy Bush. Oftentimes you will see people selling these. You know, I've seen them on eBay where they somebody had cut out the individual pictures and try to kind of pawn them off. That might be too strong of a word, but as individual cards. I don't know, maybe they were meant to be cut out. I don't think so. But this is the full form. I've had people reach out and say, hey, do you know what this is? And I'll be like, yeah, that's cut out of the 4-in-1. It's a cutout. Here's another one with Ernie Lombardi. Man, there aren't too many catchers that won 2 batting titles. And this one here, man, Bill Terry, Mel Ott, Carl Hubble. Had to get that one. I should have gotten the old Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig years ago when they were affordable. And my man Sean Tieford had alerted me to these. And he said all he wanted was the Hank Greenberg. And he would pay me for that. But Sean is so generous in the community. He sent me so many things. There's no way I was charging him anything. So I bid on these and I won. And I did send him the Hank Greenberg. And I had to have somebody pry it out of my hands to put it in the envelope. It was hard to part with once I had it. But these are... What are these? BF1? BF1, 3, BF something. Pennants. They're felt pennants. And these are from back in the day. They had different forms of them. These are the ones with the player names. Some are more generic. Some have a player and the name. Some have the team. So there's DiMaggio. Now I have a whole stack. I'm not going to show all of them, but... Lou Gehrig, Dizzy Dean, and these are very rare. These are really hard to find. You'll find some of them, but when you're seeking specific ones, believe me, they are not easy to find. Now, Lou Rock had reached out to me. He was at a card shop, and someone was, the card shop he had, they were saying that these were the 1950... They were a different version of this, so I could understand the confusion. But they were saying that these were the 1950 American, Nut and Chocolate. American Nut and Chocolate from 1950. And those ones are way smaller. They're a lot tinier than these. I do have one. So if you see them this size, they're one of these BF blankets from the 30s. They were issued multiple years in the mid-30s, I believe. Mid to late 30s. And the 1950 American Nut and Chocolate, they're smaller and feature a player kind of drawn on. So that's how you could tell the difference. All right, guys, now I have to put these all back. Man, I love looking through some cards. Hey, love collecting. Thanks for watching.